Red. What is it about the color red that halts us in our tracks? Why does one color mean love, anger, passion, danger, innocence, and betrayal? How does cinema take these meanings and bend them to its own will? In other words, how is red, red? Charles Peirce, an American philosopher, outlined in his semiotic theory ways in which a sign can be interpreted. A photograph of your grandmother represents your grandmother. The word ouch represents the noise you make when you stub your toe. You see smoke, you think fire. You hear thunder, you think lightning. On the surface, film is an iconic medium. And perhaps sometimes, in film, an apple is purely an apple. But a red apple? It is such an arresting color that in a well-thought-out cinematic work, this is rarely the case. Red is primal. In nature, it means danger on an insect or plant. It is also the color of fire and blood. It is associated with energy, war, danger, strength, power, determination, as well as passion, desire, and love. Red is a very emotionally intense color. It has been shown to enhance human metabolism. It increases respiration rate and raises blood pressure. A study led by Nicolas Guéguen of the University of Southern Brittany in France showed that drivers expressed more aggressive behavior towards red cars. People behind the red cars at traffic lights honked sooner and more often than with any of the other colors. In The Shining, red equals fear and danger. The film taps into this primal part of the brain in its audio as well, using the noises of predatory animals in the soundtrack. As Jack goes more and more insane, we see more and more red. It is a warning. Red has a plethora of symbolic meanings, the strongest of which being love. In the Mood for Love is a good example of this non-diegetic use of color. People are already familiar with the association between red and love. It is easy to accept that red expresses love and the need to be loved. The red is dimmed and hidden, as are the emotions of the protagonists. The viewer doesn't need to be told this. The color does all the talking. These non-diegetic understandings of the color red are well enough understood that they can be layered. This brings us back to our red apple. In Snow White, red represents two things: the youth and innocence of snow, and the danger of the poison apple. However, the red apple also calls upon a third layer of understanding, another, much older story of a woman who was tricked into eating a fruit. This elevates the meaning of the story from "don't take apples from strangers" to "don't give in to temptation or you will lose your innocence and purity." Even in the printed version, it is emphasized that Snow White has ruby red lips, and the apple was described in the original Grimm fairy tale as being white with red cheeks, so that anyone who should see it must long for it, but whoever ate even a bite of it must die. Sexual temptation was something parents probably couldn't, or didn't want to, outright or even explain to a child. Color made it so that they didn't have to. The red further deepens in Schindler's List. When Schindler spots the girl, it marks a turning point in his character. This is information that the movie gives us. It is diegetic, but it also has a larger metaphorical meaning. Spielberg explains his rationale, saying, "America and Russia and England all knew about the Holocaust when it was happening. And yet, we did nothing about it. We didn't assign any of our forces to stopping the march towards death. The inexorable march toward death. It was a large bloodstain, primary red color on everyone's radar. but no one did anything about it. And that's why I wanted to bring the color red in. The color red in this scene, therefore, has 3 layers. Firstly, the primal attraction to draw attention. Secondly, the metaphorical meaning of bloodshed. And thirdly, a new meaning, new from any previous, that is given by the film and functions only within that context. The meaning of red in Sixth Sense changes. Red points out the important bits, but the meaning evolves. It represents danger, innocence, temptation, or security. As the movie progresses, the meaning of red goes from being negative to positive, a warning to a comfort. We may no longer have to worry about spotting venomous snakes, and evil witches with apples may be a thing of fairy tales, but we continue to give red importance. Red stays powerful, and the red writing will always stop us dead in our tracks. It is us who decide how it is read.